Good morning, everybody. It's Pastor Rick, Broadman Baptist Church, and this is the Broadman Word for February 28th, 2025. I hope you're all having a marvelous day in the Lord so far. And I want to talk to you today about the gospel. It's from Acts chapter 1, and the Apostle Paul talking about not being ashamed, and that's the title for our message today, Not Ashamed. I'll just go ahead and read it to you from Scripture. Again, Acts chapter 1, starting in verse 16 today. It says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes, first to the Jew, then to the Gentile. For in the gospel the righteousness of God is revealed, a righteousness that is by faith from first to last, just as it is written, the righteous will live by faith." So, faced with a world that demands information and facts and proving of everything, we have faith. But you might think that that is not the greatest thing to stand on in front of a non-believer. But the fact that you have faith is proof of faith in itself. One more time. You and the faith that is in you is proof of the existence and the efficacy of faith, that faith exists because it exists in you. And the better we live it out, the stronger and bolder we live it out, being not ashamed, is stronger and stronger proof that faith exists and it works in the life of those who have it. So, could you scientifically explain faith to somebody? Well, you do have scriptures that are verifiable, and we could, take them to the resurrection, the crucifixion, resurrection, walk them through all that. That's a wonderful thing to do, to have an understanding of the basis of where your faith comes from. More practically speaking, in a day-to-day sense, an evangelism sense, working your ministry, the mission that we're all on, right, to try to bring God's desire that none shall perish to be. In that sense, in a day-to-day sense, living out your faith in all situations 24/7 is probably a more effective witness, more effective proof of the existence of faith and how it could look in the life of a non-believer. If you think about it, you're a non-believer, you've got all of this worldly knowledge and experience and all of this so-called information and knowledge, not necessarily wisdom, but we live in an age of mass information, lots of theories and theologies out there, lots of people telling everybody how to live. So you're trying to fight through all that noise and find something true and find something that you can grab a hold of. The visual, so to speak, the practical application of faith in the life of someone else would be a good draw, would be a good reason for somebody to investigate the faith of the gospel of Jesus Christ themselves. And here's what we have to be cognizant of as believers. We have to, at all times, understand that we are preaching the gospel. We are, in fact, the living, walking, breathing, talking gospel of Jesus Christ. So we have to be extra careful that we are, one, not ashamed of it. It is proclaimed in how we act, what we say, what we do, what we believe, what we profess. It permeates our life. It is, in fact, our identity. Then the second thing is we have to be mindful of where we are at all times. The world is watching. Some are watching in curiosity. Some are watching with a desire to disprove, discount, or outright reject the gospel in your life. And so, with those two things in mind, we need to leave the house ready with a plan focused on what our true purpose for that day is, and that is to exalt Jesus Christ, to move our ministries forward, and with it, the good purposes of God here on earth. So, brothers and sisters, I encourage you to regroup this morning or any morning and think about going out into the world differently, not ashamed, and with a plan and a focus, because you, just the way you are and who you are, is the most powerful proof of the existence of faith that exists. You could talk that thing to death. You could um, spend lots of times, read lots of books, tell people to read lots of books. You could do all kinds of things. But really, when it comes down to it, it's you and your witness that is going to matter. Listen, I love you. Hope you have a marvelous day in the Lord. I'll talk to you later.